The impact that I believe Rosa will have on building a positive relationship between law enforcement and the community is by being an organization that is continuing to teach and educate our young adults, our teenagers, particularly our males, on how to be respectful and how to survive in society, being a positive role model, if you will, being a mentor, if you will, to the young people. And that in turn will allow them to become more respectful and acceptable to law enforcement. And so I think with that coming in place and Rosa being a part of that, we will have more of a positive building relationship.
Thank you so much, Rosa, for conversations today. I think this literature needs to be in the hands of every parent in America in order to raise their child more effectively, especially in light of what's going on today in our political arena. And we're having 5 major pandemics simultaneously with the economic, the racial, etc. I think parents really need to focus on equipping their sons with every resource available. Conversations focus a lot on the economy and finances and education and all of the 7 mountains. But one thing that we are very, very lack about educating our sons is in finances. So I think today's conversation was very, very beneficial, and I think it's a must. This should be required viewing for every home in America. Again, thank you, panel. Thank you, COO, Mrs. Dawn Smith. And please, let's do whatever we need to do to get this into as many hands as we can. If we do not get conversations in all the hands, please go to Amazon and get the book, 31 Affirmations for Black American Boys.
Well, the Apex Museum is Atlanta's oldest Black History museum. APEX is an acronym for African American Panoramic Experience. And we are aware of the fact we have African kings and queens among us. Our young black men in particular need to know and understand who they are and what their responsibility is. And also the other generation must also learn how to better tell this story to our young people, and we've got to change the narrative.
I feel like tonight's conversation was extremely important, especially for the black culture and people my age, even above, because I just want people to know that we can create the culture and not always follow it. My big thing is just always following your purpose and always being who God calls you to be. So I just feel like if everybody just had their own tunnel vision and had their own vision of what God made them to be in their own purpose, I feel like we'll just come together and bridge the gap automatically. So yeah, and I just feel like we just need to continue to elevate and motivate each other and continue to walk in that purpose.
I think, of course, when you go back 50, 60, even 70 years, we see the real involvement of ministers and pastors with our political system. And there's a way to look back at that as perhaps, well, that was necessary then because blacks didn't have the power in other arenas except for in the church. And so, of course, a pastor would grow to be a leader in that way. And in 2020 and these days, blacks have grown to have influence in other areas. However, I think that conversations can encourage leaders, especially spiritual and religious leaders, to get back to those roots. When I go back and read the Bible, it's funny. It seems like almost every leader in the Bible grew in the ranks of politics. It almost seems like it's a prerequisite to be in the Bible, is to have some kind of community or political influence. So if you're a spiritual leader, I encourage you to grow in that influence in all areas. Maybe not running for office like Reverend Raphael Warnock, but find a way in which you can be involved to use your influence for the community on a greater scale.
Hi, I'm Dawn Smith, founder of Raising Our Sons in America. We thought that Conversations for the Culture was a necessity, especially for right now, considering the climate of our society. It's so important that we gain access for both parents and educators, especially of African American males. So we hope that you enjoy, we hope that you sit back and just continue to walk in your purpose, continue to walk in your passion, continue to walk in power as we educate, empower, and encourage.
Join us on Friday, February 19th at 6 p.m. for the YouTube premiere of Conversations for the Culture.